I don't know, we can get into that after you successfully stream something. It takes like about 30 seconds to kick in to establish the stream, so unfortunately there's like that 20-second delay that just can't be fixed at the moment. But oh, trust me, like you'll understand why. I don't know. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah. Yeah. Did you click the start recording or start streaming button? Alright. Is it recording anything? You shouldn't have to. Should all be saved. Not quite seeing it yet, but I assume it may or may not kick in pretty soon. Let's see. Jan-Hendrik Meyer. Yeah, live streaming. Jan-Hendrik Meyer is live. Started streaming 2 minutes ago. We got a bit of a garage-like substance going on. Oh yeah, for the record, like in your OBS, can you just enable your mic again?
Alright, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I hear.
Sweet. Yeah, you can mute me on Discord if you like. Get this going.
Alright.
Try the lights.
For the first time in
You're
years.
muted. Oh, now I can full screen this. Make myself a cup of tea.
Right. Can you still hear me?
I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Gross metaphor, that smile.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, I have to fucking turn.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
I want to go in the basement now. This is my desire for this game. Oh, so that's where the other piece of the door goes.
Get to that basement one day.
How far back am I? Can you hear me like straight away? Jonas, answer the question. Actually, I think
My
there's a
mom
huge
wasn't
delay.
much of
Holy
an
shit,
optimist,
you're still
but
not answering.
she never
yeah,
stopped believing that my
so
brother
you're
Milton was
probably
alive.
about 12 seconds ahead.
Okay. Open up these stairs.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and
Oh
drilled
shit!
peepholes.
Okay, we're okay. Fucking hell, man. Just took control of my camera there for a bit, the game did, and I freaked the fuck out. Man, all these doors are barred up with like this little fucking... No jokes. Oh, she did. Wait, what? Doesn't make any sense, I don't understand. Hang on, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go see what the deal is.
I think you can interact with the peepholes, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Cool. Go get up on this dead there, come on. It looks like that one. Keyhole. All of the keyholes. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna go to that room in a bit. This one. Oh, Dave!
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Huh. She's 19 years old. It's unfortunate.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
No, yeah, well, this key's about to find out some shit. Here we go, boys. Oh, fuck, I don't
Turns
know
out,
shit
my
in
mom
there.
was really good at keeping
Oh, God.
secrets.
Oh. Oh, that's clever. What they did. Oh, come on.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Oh, I don't know. Hang on. There's more to explore. Gotta explore that shit. Yeah, man, there's fucking heaps more to explore. I feel like if I go down that thing, it's gonna be a shit show. Who's this? An idiot.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
What? Oh. Alright. I know this may seem boring, but I want to explore everything.
Barbara was a child star for 2
Hello.
years, until America grew out of it.
Hey.
Oh, sorry if I'm ruining the atmosphere.
The ambiance. Ooh, I'm
Mom
really
must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
There's a cable. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go see some shit. Fine, I'm done. Where am I going? I'm going with this special. So get in here, team. Get up.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Neither do I. Now I'm real fucked.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Saving.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Dissection. Whoa. Yeah, that's right. She did.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So. What's in this box? Ooh.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Oh no, she ate the gerbil.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
She died because of fucking... We're gonna eat the goldfish now, team. Hunger's as fuck. Survival of the fittest. What about it?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Jokes, she actually did. Good. Fuck, you don't want to see that shit happen. I was kind of worried there when there was an actual animation going on. I was like, oh fuck, she actually did eat the fish. No, we're gonna go to this one first. Yes. Just a little fucking nugget. Ooh, yes, but
I kept eating and eating.
Gross. Nums. No, we're not gonna eat it. Okay, maybe we are gonna eat it.
I ate a lot of things that night.
That's probably what killed me right there.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Oh look, let me eat the bird. Come here, little fuck.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Ooh, no, back up. Back that shit right up now.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that fucking game was gonna turn into something else just there for a bit. I was like, oh shit. The kid fell out the window and that's how she died. Alright. Get this bird now. Come on. Come on, kitty. Fucking Assassin's Creed right now, boys.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Ooh. Okay, so we jump on that ladder. Ooh. Get all up. Better fucking do a hidden blade attack. Snap. Okay, yeah, we're good. Oh, this bird doesn't even know I'm on the skills. Oh yes, check it out. This guy not even worried. He's got 9 lives and shit and everything on my feet. Let's go, come on!
I jumped and I almost got her.
That's a very realistic cat sound, like our cats sound like that all the time. Oh shit. Get up on it! Gotta get up on it!
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Oh, I'm flying. There it is.
Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
This game. Oh god, I'm stuck. Fuck. Can I move? Of course I can't move. I'm a fucking shark in the middle of a fucking... Oh god. Yeah, boy! Fuck yeah, this is awesome.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Fuck this. Controls.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Well, controls, it's like a flying helicopter battlefield. Okay. Here we go.
Tasted really good. Grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Danger noodle through the toilet. No. Oh no. I'm in the kid's room. Shit, son. This is the weird shit. This is the weird shit now.
I got closer and closer. All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Freaking shit.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Are you intrigued yet?
Holy fuck. Man, you don't even know. Actually, I didn't look at the family tree yet. Who am I? Am I Kay? Must be. Oh, Edith. No, I'm Edith, lol. You know. What was that? Hang on, I don't want to go through that shit again. Maybe I do a bit. Okay, fine. Come here. Come here, goody. Come here, goody.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Hang on, what? I'm confused now actually as to who I am. I'm not Edith. Am I? She's talking to herself, she's the third person.
You are Edith.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Alright. But wow, that shark rolling down the hill though.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Oh, get out of this shit.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Pills. Oxygen.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Ooh, gross. A lot of shit happened.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah, it is. Damn. Ooh, here's another.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ow, shit. Oh, that's cool.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Wow, man, that's deep shit. Fuck, this thing hits home.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Oh, that's... Oh, that's cool. Ooh. Very nice. Come on. Oh, is it push?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Wow, this is really well done, man.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
This is my way from death.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Ramo!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Picture Show. Hours later...
What a comeback.
Barbara!
After
Walter,
that stuff.
what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're
Nice.
dead, Walter.
Walter, are you there? bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he realized he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Double kill. Let's do it.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true.
Playing that.
Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Alright, well at least now we know how to get into the basement. Let's go do that.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Things making noises and shit. Oh. Twist is real.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh, lights, generators.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now. The longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can. I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
Rubbish pile, I guess. Compost.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Well.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
What?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Who left?
Right up there, girls, do it. We're gonna use that.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Oh, dang.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Alright, team, I'm gonna call there.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't know why Jonas is saying good night to me, but he is.
Hello, Jan.
Hello.
Sorry, still doing.